A Corpus Christi man who was shot by police after wielding a large pipe has been released from the hospital and is now facing some serious charges. It was back in September where police say 24-year-old Justin Garcia confronted an officer with a large pipe near Weber and Galahar Road. Garcia was shot several times and was hospitalized. The officer who shot Garcia, Senior Officer William Hobbs, was placed on paid administrative leave following that shooting. And we've received word that Garcia was released from the hospital on Friday, now facing charges of aggravated assault on a peace officer.
So yes, it is still being investigated because obviously he was in the hospital. We'll need to follow up on the rest of the case going forward. As far as the officer, he is off administrative leave and he's been placed in an office position until the cases come full circle.
And according to court records, Garcia has already bonded out of the Nueces County Jail. No word yet as to when his trial will begin.